Hi everyone, it's Jen here and welcome to Jen's Wild About Art. So today I'm going to do a painting of a mandarin duck for you. They're a gorgeous duck and they've got beautiful colours on them, so I thought it'd be a fun one to paint. So I start by drawing in all of the details and the outline and getting all the proportions where I want them, and then I will start with the acrylic paints. So on the beak I start with cadmium red, and I also add a bit of magenta just to the darker areas on the beak, and I add some yellow to the tip of the beak because their beak is two-tone. And then I start with blue on his head feathers, and their heads and bodies are multicoloured, so I use many different colours to create this bird. So I'll add his eye in, and I go in with burnt umber, and then I use Prussian blue and brown to make a very dark grey. So I use transparent red iron oxide just around his face and his head. So on the back it's almost pure transparent red iron oxide. On his face I add some white. So I start on the neck feathers, and I also use again transparent red iron oxide, and to that I add a little bit of yellow ochre and also a little bit of burnt sienna, just in varying tones. Add a deeper purple just into that purple shade on his neck, and then I go in with the purple around the front of his chest. So now I add yellow oxide and white onto the bottom of the wings, and they have very light pattern, which I'm just adding now with a bit of Indian yellow hue, and I take that around just in little tiny lines and follow the directions that they show on the wings. So that's sort of that blocked in. And then up onto the top of the back of the wings I make up an orange, and I'll use a few different tones, and I'll build up some deeper colours as well. And I also add white to the very tips of those, because the very tips of those feathers are white. And then he's got the blue around the edges. So now I go into his back feathers, and I use cobalt blue, and then on the tail I use a little bit of teal. And I use the same transparent red that I used on the head feathers around the edges of the tail feathers. And then they've got this green colour on the back of their wing feathers. So that what I'm doing there now is actually the back of his wing feathers, and then his tail is that dark purple colour. So now I'm just going to leave that blocked in like that. I'll add details after. I just want to get on with the water now. So for the water, I'm just going in with a grey and white just to make a very pale colour background for the water. And I'll add varying tones of blue and green just to create ripples on the water and the shadows under the bird, and just create a water look, a water effect. So now I'm pretty happy. I've blocked in the background with the water, and I go back to working on the bird. So I add a few varying tones and final details around the wings, and I start to add feather textures in, and I deepen up the purples around the bird's chest and tail, and just add some more detail around the edges of the wings. And I add a light blue to the shadow areas around the white parts of the duck. Now I also start to build up the yellowy tones with Indian yellow onto the wings. And I generally start to refine the feathers and the details all over the bird. So we're coming to the end of this painting, and I've had an absolute ball painting this bird for you. I'd love it if you click like and subscribe and click on the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when I release a new video. I also have a website where my art is available for sale at jensworldaboutart.com. I'll have that all linked below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you all for the next video. Okie doke. Bye.